Hey guys, it's Jesse from Hansen Speed Shop. It's finally spring out. Everybody's on lockdown with this whole corona thing. So I've been digging out some of the old muscle bikes, and it's time for another Hansen Speed Shop muscle bike review. So we're going to get to it here in just a second. Alright, so this is the bike we're going to be looking at here today. This is a 1968 Schwinn Stingray 3-speed. I've had this bike for about 10 years or so now. And I'll tell you a little bit about the history on this bike. It's not 100% finished yet, and I'm planning on doing another video on the bike once I get all the finishing pieces that are missing on it. But it is rideable. I just had the shifter hooked up today. Really cool. First time I've ever rode a 3-speed stick shift bike. So this bike I actually got from, well, part of it I got from my dad's cousin. He actually found it in a barn, and what I actually got from him was the frame, the shifter, and the crank and sprocket were in the frame. And then this was not an original Springer fork bike. It had just the stock style fork on it, and it was a barn find. So it wasn't, perfectly mint condition or anything. The original fork was pretty bent, and the threads on the top were basically shot. So I had this Springer fork, and I've always liked the Springer fork, so I've always wanted a Schwinn with a Springer fork, so I thought that'd be perfect for this bike. And then I actually got that fork and the wheels off the bike, this original Schwinn 3-speed wheel with gripper slick, off another bike that I bought like about 10 years ago. I ended up selling that bike, but I kept the fork and the wheels for this bike. Just tore the crank out, cleaned everything up, re-greased the bearings over this last winter, threw a new chrome chain on it. I redid the whole shifter. When I originally got the bike, the shifter had been like completely just doused in some like cheap ass silver spray paint. So I stripped the whole thing down, polished it up, got the replacement decals on it, and just, it looks, it's not perfect, but it fits with the patina of the bike, and it's the original shifter to the bike, so that's really cool. This bike originally comes from Wisconsin Rapids, which is about 30 miles away from here. And I believe the dealer that this bike came from is still in business to this day. They no longer sell Schwinns, but they're still there and they're still selling bikes. In fact, I was just there a couple months ago. So I like this bike because it's pretty much a local bike, and that's pretty cool. These are not the original to the bike pedals, but these are the correct waffle pedals. This is a Schwinn slick, and this slick that's on here right now is kind of running on borrowed time. Let's see, right here, the sidewall blew out, and I just got a patch on there. And I'm just going to run it till it kills itself, because these are pretty expensive. And these 3-speed wheels take a certain size back tires, so pretty much your only option is these old gripper slicks, which look really nice on the bike. But they're like $80 to $100 if you can find one, usually on eBay. And I originally bought this frame and the shifter and whatever else came with it for like $50, and then all the rest of the stuff was found at flea markets and swap meets, or stuff that I already had, and then I just kind of cleaned it up and put it together. So I really probably have well under $200 invested in this whole bike, so that's pretty good. What's missing on the bike is I need the correct chain guard, the correct caliper rear brake, and brake lever. These were optional 68 handlebars, correct date coded. This isn't a Schwinn stem. This stem's probably off of like a Sears, Huffy, Hiawatha, but I prefer these style stems over the Schwinns just because it's a little bit beefier than the Schwinns, and I think it has a little bit nicer look to them. So I usually like these stems versus the Schwinns. Still has the original head badge on it. The kickstand on it's pretty rough. It's the original kickstand, so at some point we might be getting a new one of those. And then also I really dig the flag valve stem caps. Those are usually pretty pricey also. I have a set on another one of my bikes, so we'll be taking a look at as soon as I get that one done. But eventually I'll cough up some cash and get a set for this bike. So also this seat on here, this is off of one of the 2007 Walmart Schwinn Stingray repops that came out on Black Friday. And I have one of those also, but we found one that was just totally roached out. The whole bike was like just solid rust. Somebody had left it lay outside or whatever. And again, when I started building this bike, I didn't have a lot of money. And even now I really don't have a lot of money. So this seat was basically free and it looks good on the bike. So at some point we'll be getting a better seat for it. So we'll take the bike for a ride and then we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, before we take the 68 for a ride, maybe notice this bike sitting here in the background. This is my Girl Sears Spider that I've had since I was like 5 or 6 years old. Took this thing out for the ride late a couple nights ago, and the front tire blew out because I just had some old like really crappy dry rotted tires. If you see, like I was going down the street and I noticed like I thought there was something stuck on the tire because it was like really dark out or whatever. And I stopped. I'm like, holy cow, the whole tire is just like completely separated. But if you can see, this thing was like super weather checked. It's just like, it was totally rotted. So I got a new set of tires for this bike coming in the mail. And then when those tires come, I think I'm going to do another video on this bike, but we're going to use it as kind of how to maybe pull an old banana seat bike out and get it roadworthy again. So we'll go through like just basic tune-up stuff, how to put tires on, how to lube some necessary stuff up on it, and what you want to make sure is tight, and just something that you can just go ride and have fun with. It's not like a show bike or anything, but you know, you can go out, ride and have fun on it. So we're going to take this thing for a ride now. Alright, so when you're sitting on the bike, this is basically the view that you have. I really like these bars. Actually, when I first got them, they're a little bit narrower than the other option of bars that you could get in 68, but these are actually really comfortable. It's got the skinny black Schwinn grips on. These aren't the chubby grips. And there's a view of the Springer. There's a view of your shifter. So right now we're in second gear. I noticed from riding this bike earlier that first and second gear are really easy pedaling, and then third gear kind of feels like basically what normal on one of these old muscle bikes would feel like. So first and second gear are going to be like your climbing gears, like for hills and stuff, and then third gear will probably be your main riding gear. But we'll start out now in second gear. And this bike does have that freewheel sound to it, if you can hear that clicking when you're just rolling the bike. So second gear, you can see my feet pedaling pretty easy. So now on these 3 speeds, for shifting, it is different than on a 5-speed bike. So in between shifts, you have to actually stop pedaling. So we'll stop pedaling, throw it into third. Now we're in third gear. And I did notice also that the clicking in the rear hub continues the whole time that you're riding. But this bike pedals pretty easy. It's really nice. This is the first time, like I said, that I've had a muscle bike with, well, I've got other muscle bikes with shifters on, but they're not rideable yet. So this is the first time I've had one that I could actually ride. It's really nice. Pretty comfortable bike. I do have kind of an older tall sissy bar on the bike that you've seen. But I got, I was probably still in like grade school when I got that thing, and it's been sitting for a long time, and it had some surface rust on it, so I had to polish it back up. But it looks really nice on the bike again. It matches the patina of the bike. Kind of hard to do this one filming. We're in second gear now. And first gear. First gear pedal, super easy. But you definitely wouldn't want to ride around in first gear unless you're like going up a hill. Brakes on this bike work really good, as you've just seen. Bike likes to pop wheelies. Second gear. So we'll take another look at the bike now. All these 3 and 5 speed shift bikes have this little wheel here that the cable runs down to the back wheel. But overall, I'm really happy with this bike. I think it's super cool. 68 Schwinn Stingray 3-speed. Again, we'll take another look at this bike probably, I don't know, I'd say maybe within the next couple months once I find the remainder of the parts that I need for it. Like I said, I don't need that much to finish it. I was going to wait till I had it completely the way I wanted to do one of these riding reviews, but I thought I'd get out and enjoy some of these muscle bikes while the weather's fairly nice here. And I really don't have much else to do since I'm out of work now and stuff. But as soon as the tires come for that Sears, we'll be taking a look at that. And then I've got a couple other bikes on the way that I know you guys are really going to dig. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like what we're doing here at Hansen Speed Shop, you want to see more of this stuff, subscribe, because there's definitely more cool stuff on the way. There's cool stuff on the channel to go check out. But otherwise, as always, get out, get your hands dirty, stay cool, and we'll catch you cats on the next one. Thanks for watching.